Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I am sorry I'm late. I have not been in communication with anyone. Um, that's why I'm late. Then all of a sudden, earlier this week, I had to use Zoom. So my whole setup has been interrupted. So we are talking about um, let's talk about mental health. This is perfect for me tonight. Why? Because I have been stressed out trying to get on here, trying to go live, trying to see if my constituent is going to show. I haven't been able to get in touch with my partner tonight, which is Deb. Like I said, tonight we are talking about mental health. I probably will be on here by myself for a minute, and then we'll check to see if she is going to show up. Otherwise, please join me. Join me so that I won't be on here by myself. This is the Tonight Show. I am going to be um, talking about mental health, the different resources that we have. And if anybody wants to join me, please feel free to do so. I am going to put the link in Facebook for now because I can't even get to my phone right now. It's a lot going on, right? So again, I am Jewel, your host. I'll give it a little bit of time so that we can see if anybody's going to come on. And also to see if Deb is going to come on. We committed ourselves to doing this, and I know she's gotten busy. So that's another thing too. But if you guys know me, communication is the key. Don't have me out here looking any kind of way because I have no problem sharing my platform. But what I will say is, if you can't, you can't. That's fine. But I too have a life and I can be doing other things and helping other people as well. So, like I said, with that being said, mental health is important. The beauty of it all is that I at least have the tools to decompress. I've got my Oops, I got my little tea, and we're hearing noises here because I have to have uh, my speakers on so that I can hear and talk to you guys. So, like I said, if anybody wants to come on, let me go ahead and put the link in. Uh, Put the link. Oh, hi, Marva. How are you? Good to see you. We're starting late tonight because I haven't heard from my partner. I'm not sure if she's in a rural area. She has told me that, now that they have their 501, that they are working on different events and different things, which is fine. But for me, communication is key. So I just want people to know that's how I roll. And also, we're talking about mental health. Now, for myself, having the tools to decompress so that it won't take me to a place I don't want to be, I have to do one thing at a time. So, like I said, let me put the comments, um, or let me put the link in the comments section. I was going to pin it on, let's see if I can paste it on there. Pin it to get to my very by him to get that top is acting up. I had to download my phone. Now all of a sudden, other stuff is starting to pop. I don't know why that is either. Okay, so let me see if I can close out these apps, and then I can put the link in the section here, and you guys feel free to come on so we can talk. We want to resources starting. I don't know if anybody is aware of the there is the link for those that want to come on, but the resources we were going to talk about was NAMI, which was NAMI. That's a resource. And also I had a resource 988, which you can now go to Instagram and follow them. They have some great information and the resources. One thing about the resources is that you can get in and you if you have use having a little difficulty, but I'm going to keep going because this is an important topic for tonight. I wanted to put that also in the banner. I'll wait a little bit longer so that I can put the information for you guys. I thought that I had a banner for it. I don't see it, but that's what we're doing tonight. So we're talking about health and wellness. This is on site. You did see that. This is now the Saturday night talk. You have seen that. Feel free to come on if you want to come on. I also wanted to talk about NAMI, NAMI. I'm going to create a banner for that. So if you've never heard of NAMI, NAMI is an advocate website. It's NAMI.org. I will put that in there as well. Let's see. I'm trying to add that for you guys so that we can put it at the bottom of the live tonight. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. I was actually going to put the information on YouTube, but like I said, I can't get to my phone this very second. But if you are struggling, like there's some people on here already struggling, and I will just encourage you to get in touch with me because you clearly need the help. You don't want to come on my page and act a fool, because I do support those who fail to thrive. And I am going to put you on notice as soon as I create this banner for the people who need my help. Okay, so what the resources, I'm putting it in for you now. If you need resources, this will be the place to get in touch. so that you can get some help, and also 988 so that you, if you're suicidal, that's the information I'm putting in. And you know what's really sad is we pop in and we pop out on different um, platforms without even knowing the goal. Like I said, tonight is Saturday Night Talk. We're talking about mental health, your mindset, the things that bother you, the things that you're not aware of, those that need help, those that need to um, find out what they can do, how they can decompress. I am actually able to assist with that. So you can go to my link tree, do a one-on-one, and again, like I say, I'm going to keep going while I'm talking. um, I'm creating a uh, ticker for you. So if you really need help, feel free to use these resources, because it is someone you can call, and I'll tell you a little bit about it as soon as I put the information in. Okay, NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Health, and there was one person that founded NAMI, and that was back in 1979. So I don't know if you ever heard of NAMI, but NAMI is one of the reputable foundations. It became a foundation. They started out very small. It was a lady by the name of, Harriet, I think it was Harriet Shetler, because her son was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And then she and another lady became partners. And then it was a grassroots um, group. It was started by many of families, and then it kept expanding. And then they found someone in California, and then that's how they became a group, a grassroots group. And then the National Institute of Mental Illness got involved. So again, stand by. Let me put this information in for you. Y'all know I'm the hardest working woman right now on on these platforms, trying to bring awareness and trying to support those who need support. So let me see here. um, I don't want to make a typo, but if I do, feel free to tell me so that I can correct it while I am on here. National Alliance on Mental Illness. Yes, I can't believe I'm on here by myself. And how does that work when you've done so, or come um when we've talked about this? But like I said, I'm the type that there's no shade. I'm just simply who I am. And like I said, I'm on here when I commit myself to something, I'm committed. Okay. Let me see, what else can I say about this. I also mentioned there is also another resource, um, suicide prevention. You just call 988, I believe, 988, you know, or you can get in touch with me. Um, if non-emergency. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Stand by. I'm adding something here. Emergency. All right. So I'm creating a uh, resource for you guys. And so now let's see if we can get that on the road. Suicide prevention, or contact me if no emergency. Oh, somebody is on. Thank you so much, because I'm struggling by myself. But you know what? I'm a trooper. I'm a soldier. I'm going to do something because I am committed. Hello, hello. How are you?
Hi, Joel. It's Marva. How are you?
Doing well, Marva. Thank you for coming on. Marva, introduce yourself and let them know we are talking Saturday Night Talk. We are talking about mental health and how prevalent it is. I was going to share a little bit about my stressors today because I got a text message from my partner that's on Thursday or on Saturday nights, and we decided what we were going to talk about. Haven't heard from her since. Then I tried calling, and then I set up my system, had a Zoom call earlier this week, and I had to completely shut down. So anywho, with that being said, go ahead and let them know who you are, and I will. Then we'll get on the topic. Okay.
Okay, Joel. Thank you. I'm happy I was able to join you this evening. I was trying to get on myself, but I'm a little bit tech challenged myself, and
Oh, okay.
I have an iPhone, and somehow I just wasn't able. Every time I click the StreamYard link, Safari just wouldn't allow me. So it took me a while.
Well, that's okay. That's okay because we all are learning. And for
Yeah.
me, um, I've just I just keep going because
Yeah.
what do you do but keep? Nothing beats a fail but a try. So that's how I feel about the whole thing. But go ahead and introduce yourself, and then let's just talk about mental health. It is prevalent right now, and many people need help. And if anybody else wants to come on, I'm not able to pin it to YouTube, but I am going to try and put that in the comments section if anyone is watching from YouTube. But as of now, nothing yet. So go
It
ahead
it
and
is it is in the comment section on YouTube. That's how I was able to get on. I just hit the StreamYard link in YouTube, everyone. Just hit that StreamYard link, and then it'll take you to StreamYard, and you can join us. But
okay. Thank you,
but
because I was going to oh, I forget you can't see me. And I was gonna say thank you. So I didn't see it on StreamYard. I was actually gonna pin it. But if it's on there, then that's perfect. Thank you for the letting me know. Thank you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it is StreamYard. But anyway, thanks for having me. I've been wanting to join you on Saturday evenings. Usually I'm out and about Saturday night. I like to go party, but tonight I'm here, so I'm glad I was able to join you. My name is Marva Riley, and I am a registered nurse of over 24 years, and I'm also the author of three holistic health and wellness books, and I am an avid holistic health and wellness advocate. Mental health has always been an issue. It's becoming more and more of an issue for people. And it is not just one cause, there are multiple reasons why folks are having so much mental health issues, economics, social issues, health issues. Everything is interconnected. And we will always have mental health issues. The important thing is learning how to deal with it and how to get help, and actually how to prevent some of the mental health issues that we are so often bombarded with.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm in the green room having a snack. But yeah, you're right. It is um very serious right now. And I think I put recourses. I did say for people to rectify and let me know if I misspelled anything because I can't see. I'm gonna put my glasses on and spell resources correctly. So
Mhm.
while I'm doing that, Marva, have you had any communications, or do you use NAMI to refer people, or do you know? What do you know about NAMI? Do you know?
I don't know anything about NAMI. I don't refer anyone. I'm not a counselor. Um, and if I in the hospital setting, if we have well, at the moment, for the last 5 years, I have not worked in the hospital setting. Prior to that, I did critical care. And if we had patients that had mental health issues and needed consultation, then we would get a psychiatrist and psychologist on board. And we had a psychiatric ward at the hospital that we would refer them to. So I'm not familiar with NAMI, but I do know that mental health is we're having mental health crisis in the United States and around the world. But in terms of NAMI, I can't tell you that I know anything about NAMI.
Oh, okay, no problems, no problem. Yeah. So Uh, what we do know, let's talk about the community, because we're all in a community. We also notice that is very serious. People are not doing well. Medical professions are not doing well. I have, I'm out in the community. Working with those who fail to thrive on many different levels. And I know that the numbers during COVID, the doctors were suffering. It was like 50%. Now the numbers have escalated, and so we want to make sure to be mindful about our own mental health, because we're so used to trusting our physicians to do the right thing and to tell us different things. But if they're not doing well, this is the time to start making healthy choices. This is the time to start getting in alignment and being your own advocate for your own mental health, because being misdiagnosed, being prescribed the wrong medication can cause bigger issues. What do you think about that?
Well, mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health are all interconnected. We cannot separate them. That is why I'm a holistic advocate, meaning that I advocate for dealing with health from a holistic standpoint, body, mind, and spirit. Oftentimes we cut things up. It's the spirit, the minister deals with it. It's the mental health, the psychologist and the psychiatrist deals with it. It's the physical, the medical doctor or the DO deals with it. But everything is interrelated, because you'll find that folks that are stressed out, they tend to eat junk. They tend to eat unhealthy foods to pacify themselves. And then they gain a lot of weight, and they end up with blood pressure and diabetes problems and arthritic problems, and they can't move, and they sink more into depression. Okay. And the cycle just keeps going around and round. So we have to address health from a holistic standpoint. It cannot just be mental, physical, or spiritual. It has to be everything in one. I live in a small community, okay, where I see a lot of mental health issues. They might not be called mental health issues. There are lots of people that are taking all kinds of drugs. They're taking prescription drugs like Percocet. They're
Yeah.
taking sleeping pills. They're taking anxiety pills. These are the prescription drugs, and many of them are overdosing on it. That's a crisis, even among young adults. Up to 25% of the young adults in their 20s, late teens and 20s in this country are dying from overdose of either legal drugs prescribed by practitioners or illegal drugs. So that's a big thing. They're big on cigarette smoking, cigar smoking, and all kind of things to smoke to help them to calm them down. They're also drinking a lot of alcohol, heavy alcohol, beer, that kind of thing. And I see that not just in the poorer, among poorer people, but even in the
Yeah.
among the affluent people that have money and
Of
have
course.
resources. They too
Yes.
are turning to these things to help them to deal with the overwhelming stress, the economic and the socioeconomic stress, and the other stressors.
Exactly. I mean, listen, mental health has no age, has no color, none of that. I too, I think that's how we became connected, is that we both are. I'm integrative therapy. I work with those who fail to thrive naturally. And I say the same thing: mind, body, soul, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, physically, but I help people to get in alignment naturally,
Yes.
internally and externally, which is how Simply Jewel Cosmetics came first, and then the health services. But at that time, I didn't know that that's what we were doing. So yes, there's no age. Like I mentioned earlier, doctors are struggling right now. They don't know what you eat, they can ask you, but do they spend time? Do they break bread at your table? Do they know how you feel about your personal walk with your higher power? Do they work out with you?
The thing
Even
is, the thing is, Jill, that the physicians are given. I believe that most physicians have their patients' interest at heart, but the insurance industry is a money-making industry.
right.
It's the bottom line is the money, and they time. I know that of a fact, having been
Yes.
in the healthcare industry for so many years, they give
Yes.
physicians a certain amount of time to spend with each patient.
I
And
understand that.
so
I've
if a
I look, I've worked every floor in the hospital.
mhm,
ER, step down unit, post-op. And when you're in nursing school, the first thing you do is they throw you on med surge so you can be well versed on all the different issues. But we understand the insurance. That's a given. You see,
mhm,
but the problem I have is, why is it that if you are a doctor, you cannot fight for your patients? Why can't they be an advocate for their patients? They say we have this, it's a, what do they want to say? There's a chain of command, but we as nurses are the eyes and the ears, but really nurses have fallen. So the CNAs do most of the work, that kind of thing. But we understand the issue. We want to talk about mental health in our community, because everybody should know by now that Big Pharma is the reason for why a lot of things are just going crazy right now. And I don't mind saying it, because I've worked, like I said, I've worked every floor in the hospital: post op, labor and delivery, ortho, med surge, like I said, you name it, which is why I chose the route that I'm in now, because I'd rather be helping the community and those that have fallen short. And we already know the ones that are not getting the right information, which is why here we are now. People, you'll see celebrities just now talking about eating raw or becoming a vegetarian or eating healthy. And for me, I can't eat raw because I'm allergic to nuts, but I eat clean. And I don't have diabetes. I don't have any other issues other than optical, dental, and my hearing, low pitch hearing loss. But that's what I'm talking about now. That's what we have to stay focused on, what we have to help our community with, because we already know that there's a disconnect and we already understand the insurance, but nobody's doing anything. If we have a solution, let's talk about that. But if we don't have a solution, let's talk about mental health in our communities. Because, like you said, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, green, purple, yellow, there is a disconnect, and people need to understand how to decompress, how to not take their mind to a place that they don't want to be. You see, that's the stuff we need to put out here in the communities, because everybody's posting, but are they solving a problem? On my platform, I'm ready to solve the problems. I'm ready to get down. I'm ready to pull up my sleeves, and I'm ready to answer some questions for those that are struggling, because it's that serious. That's what I mean.
Yeah, the thing is that by ourselves, we can't do much. We have to collaborate with others because the voice of, say, big pharma on the and the healthcare industry is super big. So individually, we can't really do much. We have to collaborate and come together. And I know that there are lots of voices that are talking up against big pharma and the healthcare industry, and they focus on money and not really caring about people. There are a lot of people that I follow on YouTube that I read their books, like Dr. Mark Furman, for example,
I
Dr. Columbus
don't
Batiste.
Yeah, but we're not Mark. We're on here. We're on Simply Jules page. Um, I get what you're saying, but we're on Simply Jules page, and we're not going to promote other people's stuff right now. Today is the day to talk about helping people to decompress. And I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful. I do follow you, and I follow other people as well. But today on Saturday Night Talk is for our people. We're finding solutions for our people. Not to cut you off, but I'm adamant about how to navigate this platform to give people gems and nuggets so that they can decompress, so that they can do their part. If those people you follow want to follow me and come on the platform, great. But we need to help our community. Remember, I said it's about solutions right now. And those people aren't here to help. We are. So only you and I right now can give people gems and nuggets so that they can decompress. And I put the resources down already. So let's do that with all due respect.
Mhm. Okay.
Yes. So that's why I welcome anybody on this platform. But like I said, with all due respect, there are so many people who need help. Like I said, I just wanted to give a brief uh, synopsis about how promoting and resources, but not to promote other people's stuff when people, that's what everybody's doing. We want to give answers tonight. We want to give solutions. And again, I am Simply Jewel. I help those who fail to thrive. If they can't call or identify that they have an issue or that they need help, then they can get in touch with me and I can help them. And then I can refer them to the National Alliance on Mental Health. And if they're suicidal, to call 911 or to call 988, which is a suicide prevention hotline. But what is it? Let's just be real for a moment. If you have a loved one that is suffering, and you know they're suffering with anxiety, how can you help them? What do you suggest? What would you suggest?
Well, first of all, I would need to find out what is causing the anxiety. So by listening to that person, listening, or just offering to listen. Sometimes folks don't even want to talk about what's causing the anxiety. But if
Right.
they want to talk about it, you listen, because sometimes we offer advice and we talk too much. And a lot of times folks can get a lot more help just by having a pair of ears to listen to whatever is causing their problem. But if they're anxious, I would listen. What is caused? Because anxiety doesn't just come. There's
Right.
always an underlying reason for folks to be anxious. Is it financial problems? Are you in pain? Did you get a poor diagnosis? Do you have health issues? Are you not sleeping at night? How is your diet? Are you exercising? Are you getting sunlight? You know? But sometimes you just need to listen and hear what folks have to say. And and
Well,
and,
and
and that's
trust.
how you will know.
Yeah, but it's also about trust. And then also, my thing is, I'm talking about people we know. I'm talking about people we see every day, family members, loved ones. Because you can't help those that don't want to help themselves. However, if you see someone who is struggling, say you see someone that's maybe they're, excuse me, maybe they're used to playing their music every day, and then all of a sudden they don't do that. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. If you recognize that, and the fact that you yourself are in the medical field, there's a lot of people that's not medical. But how do we get other people to recognize that their loved ones are struggling, and at least offer support, at least offer to go with them to get checked out? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Because, of course, a lot of people do talk a lot, but right now we got to get back to talking, because people stop talking. And no, they don't want to talk about what's ailing them, what's hurting them. But then there's times where they may want to uh, say what's going on. They may need somebody to say, "Come on now, I know you better than this. I know that you know something is wrong." So, at what point do we at least let them know? At what point do we even say to them, "I know you're struggling. I'm here for you whenever you're ready." But then I know people that have gone through chronic depression for over a year, and they're just now starting to realize that's the problem. Have we become so disconnected that we don't want to help people? Have we become so disconnected that, oh, that's not my business, I don't want to get into it? But are we not seeing what's going on in the world? Are we not seeing people killing, robbing, doing all kinds of stuff, and not even equate that as a mental disorder? These are the things that we need to bring out into the forefront to let people know that this is what we're noticing. And you may not be the type of person, but because I'm out here every day and I see it, even with the professionals, even with the elites, I see it. And if you think I'm going to sit and not say anything, that's what people are banking on. But our society is so disconnected right now. We've got to come together. We've got to find a way to get people to see that they may want to get checked out. We can't solve their problem, but what we can do is support them while they're going through their problems. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the type of person I am. I can't speak for everybody, but that's why I'm in the field I'm in, because people
Mm-hmm.
need support. That's all I'm saying. Your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts on that?
Well, I think one of the problem is that we don't listen, and oftentimes folks have their own issues that they're dealing with,
Yeah.
and they just can't deal with their problem and the spouse's problem and the grandchildren's problem, the children's problem. It's just overwhelming, and it's just too much. And
Okay.
sometimes, and I know also sometimes folks want to listen, but the other person does not want to talk.
Okay.
So those are some of the challenges. We've always had mental health issues
Yeah.
all around the globe, including the United States. Just that folks are so busy now, they're on social media, and rather than sitting in the living room and having a cup of tea or something and talking, folks are on social media all the time. And sometimes folks want to talk, but the other people just doesn't want to listen. So it's a lot deeper than we think, but we have to get to the root cause. What is causing all this anxiety? There's a lot of economic issues,
Yeah.
social issues. There's a lot of fear. So it's big, and we cannot tackle that kind of stuff by ourselves. It takes a lot of collaboration with people of all sorts.
Exactly.
Any change that has ever happened in this world happens because people come together, they collaborate with all kinds of people to make things happen.
Exactly. And we're collaborating, and that's why I we have this platform so that people can at least know at this time. And I'm just going to say between 5 and 5:30, because I always put a time up there and something always happens. But we're going to have to do better with time, because we've advertised for time now, and but things happen, and I get that. But back to what you were saying, people can't handle it, which is true. The issue I have is we have to start being honest, because people will may not be able to handle it, but they don't even say that. And that helps, especially those that are struggling. And I know that for certain. It helps when you at least say, you know what, I've got my own issues and I can't handle that right now. You got to pray for one another, but everybody has issues now. But let it be them. They need your energy. Okay. That's what we got to get out of. We, as a society, as a group of people have, they get upset with people. Now, this is another fact. That's why people haven't spoken to people in years, because all a person had to say was, I can't handle that right now. Instead, they make a person feel like they don't care. That's why people shut down. You see, I understand that they may not be able to handle it, but you got to say that. We've gotten out of the habit of of communicating. Everybody wants to, so what? There's a social media. Matter of fact, some people need to put social media down for a little bit. Some people are on social media from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed, during work, during dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But at what point do you get in an alignment for yourself? At what point do you go to your higher power and try to get in alignment for yourself? We make so many excuses that why is it that people aren't figuring this out yet? How is it that people can't even see that these are the times where we need to come together, um, where we need to, um, how many people in Japan have mental health? I don't know, Aaron. Uh, why don't you tell us? You know, they may need our support. Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know a number to respond to Aaron, but I suspect that the Japanese people might not have as much mental health issues as, say, those in the Western world. Okay, that's because in Japan is known to have a culture of community
Yes,
where,
very good.
for example, in one household, you might have three generations. You have the young folks that have young children, and the mom and dad might live with them, and even the grandmother lives with them. They also
Well,
live
yes.
they also live in smaller, like village type community, and they help each other, and spiritually they're at the temple and stuff like that. They tend to be like that, and they sleep better, they eat better, they are physically active, that holistic approach.
I no
Whereas
no.
in
See, where are you getting that information? They don't eat better. Where did that
Jap-
come from? No,
Japan, oh yes, they
Ju-
do.
no, ma'am. I beg to differ. I
Have you
beg.
heard about the Blue Zone study?
I have, but that's why I was going to interject because what is their biggest staple is rice. You see, I listen, when I tell you I do data for all walks of life. So they don't eat better than us. That's a misconception. They don't eat better than us as a whole, as a culture even. You see? So, yeah, you get studies, but, and I'm not generalizing people because we now have Japanese Americans. They are more Americanized than we are.
Oh, but I'm not talking about Japanese Americans. I'm talking about the Japanese and the
Japanese.
Chinese that live in Japan,
I
in
get that.
not necessarily in the big cities, but in the villages and stuff like that. They
I
eat
know.
their original foods, their soy, their tofu, vegetables, sprouts, things like that.
I
Those are what the
understand.
village people. I'm not talking about big city people like, New York City people. I'm talking about the village people in China, in Japan, and those places.
Well,
They eat better
yes.
than the United States, and they are physically active, and they have um, family communities, and they sleep better. They don't live that the Western world where people don't go to sleep and they eat at McDonald's every day, and they're not physically active, and they're morbidly obese.
Well,
That the
that part.
lifestyle in Japan is not like that at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That part goes without saying. If they're in a rural area, but we're talking about that's why I say let's not generalize because every people are in rural areas. When you talk about uh, um, different cultures, even Black people, African American, had their grandparents. Where do you think Big Mama's the name Big Mama came from, and how we had a close knit group? Now, it wasn't until the 70s where people started branching out, going to school, moving all over, moving across the country to better themselves. But usually, even the African American culture has had a close knit family. So we don't want to generalize because even for me, I didn't know my grandparents, but I knew a lady that lived across the street that we called grandma. So that's what I mean by that. I don't want to generalize because we are in 2023 and yeah, if we're in these rural areas, of course, we're going to eat healthier because people can't drive to the city to get a Big Mac and a McDonald's. We are spoiled over here. but I don't want to generalize because that is not, that's not even, to me, it's not even 50% anymore. I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just having a conversation because I'm not the only one that thinks like that. Because that's what we're doing on my platform. We're discussing, we're saying things that people may not. They may want to ask, but they're afraid to ask. I see it in your face, but that's how we doing it over here. And we haven't had a chance to talk, so I can tell you what this platform is like, but don't take it personal. We're
I'm not.
talking to
I'm not taking it personally. I'm just
okay,
saying
good, good,
any
good.
conversation that you have, unless you're talking specifically about a specific group, it's gonna be whatever statement is gonna be a general statement. So folks will say, for example, the United States, in the United States, heart disease is the number one cause of death, for example. That's a generalization. Most statements that we make on this platform or any platform will be a generalized statement unless we're talking about a specific group of people that has been studied. And there are many places across the globe, generally speaking, that eat better, that live in better health conditions than the United States. They walk more, they sleep more, they have better family support and that kind of thing. I'm not saying African Americans don't have family support, Caucasians don't have, Indians don't have, but the
Well, yeah.
Japanese are known to have a close knit village kind of a support, and that's probably one of the reasons why they're not as totally stressed out as, say, in the United States. And there are many countries where sleep, for example, is encouraged. Here is it's almost like not getting enough sleep is glorified, but that's a
Mm.
general statement also, because certainly that's not the case in my individual household, and even in my community a lot of people go to bed early. It's a general statement, but whatever
Okay.
I talk about, I'm not taking anything personally, Jewel. I suppose you have a right to disagree, and so do I have a right to disagree, and the
Of
person who
course.
asks the question has a right to ask a question and give their
Of
opinion,
course.
because I hope that's what the platform is about, openness,
Exactly.
that kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah, it is. I just think that, like I said, I'm passionate and I'm out in the community and my data is different. Even with Japanese descent, Chinese descent. I was hoping another friend would come on who lived in Japan for over 13 years, and just um, to hear her speak, who just came back to the States within the last couple of years. And it would be nice to get someone else's opinion of a person of color who's lived abroad and who's lived in the community, had to adjust to a different way of life, or probably assimilated to a different way of life. Those are the types of conversations I'd like to have moving forward. But yeah, and I mean, I hear you say with general statements and stuff like that, but I'm at the point where we are in a time where we need to be open and honest, where we need to literally come up with solutions, talk about it.
Hmm.
Different states. I've even, like you're in Georgia, there's other people, so many people I've met in the last year from the East Coast, and different foundations that I support. The data is different than regular, everyday, common people that are not serving the community. Those that are serving the community, the data is different. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I know for certain, um, that's in a rural area. Of course, it would be um, a more close knit because they don't have the added stressors that we have in the city, and things are different. But you can live in the city and still decompress. You don't have to be a part of these platforms, or well, be a part of a platform that can help you decompress, not escalate the anxiety. And I do have followers from Japan, from the Philippines, from all over the world. And that's another reason why I say I beg to differ, because you're speaking in general. I'm speaking based on people that I know and that I engage with. And yeah, um, they do have reduced stress because they're not faced with the things that we're faced with here. So that is true. And so, with that being said, um, any
Anyways, I'm gonna say bye because I'm heading out.
okay.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on. And like I said, hopefully we'll get Deb back and I can find out what happened. I hope she's okay. Uh, but I do know that they did get their 501 and things are getting busy. But all I ask for is a phone call so that I know which way I'm going. But like I said, stressors, I do. I am thankful that I can uh, decompress. And thank you, Marva, for coming on. I know that this is a different platform. And like I said, not to argue with anyone, just to put it out there because people are listening. People want to ask questions but are afraid to ask, and so sometimes you just got to put it out there just to see if there are some people that'll say, okay, I can resonate with what's going on this page. Maybe the next time they will become active and get involved. So, with that being said, I'm going to be closing out. But if you have a problem, just know that it is okay. Just know that it's okay to get in touch with someone that can support you. It's okay if you don't want to talk about it. But if you are in that state of mind, make sure that you eat well. Make sure that you exercise. Make sure that you know, because some people are so angry, they don't want to connect to their higher power. That we do know. Make sure that you sit still and try to hear what your heart is telling you, what your mind is telling you. Make sure that you get good sleep. They say 8 to 12 hours for adults. Some people can function well 6 hours. I suggest 6 hours. If you haven't been sleeping, you know that you need support. You know that you need help. If you've been up for a day or two, you know that sleep is important to regenerate the mind, to help get yourself in alignment. Make sure that you work out to reduce the stress. That helps. Make sure that you eat well. That helps. Make sure you journal. That helps. There's so many things you can do to help yourself, but by all means, sit still and listen, and that will help you get through your times. It may not happen overnight. Even when you do yoga and Pilates, you need at least 3 days to regenerate. Take that time, journal, and by all means, get in touch with me if you need to. I'm here to help you talk about it. I'm here to help you talk through it. And there's so much that we can do at this point, but right now we just need to make sure people know that this is a place where you can come and vent, decompress. If you you can go to my link tree, do a one-on-one so that you can at least talk to somebody. You may not even want to talk to your family members because they may be too close. Make sure you talk to someone. You not just, if you can't talk to your family members, you can talk to someone that's not going to judge. Okay, so until next time, you guys, we'll find out. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, Deb will be able to come on with us. I hope all is well, and peace and blessings to everyone. Okay, good night.